Hey there guys, hope all is well and welcome back to another video with Academy FM. Today I want to touch base on a pretty easy way in order to time up your vocals. You know, I've been doing pop records for a long time and working with tons and tons of vocal stems, and they can be very time consuming as far as editing and flexing time and warping stuff in order to get the vocalist in time. Now, usually your vocalist isn't going to be that far off. You know, they're singing to your backing track or they're singing to another a cappella track that you put in as far as timing, so it's not going to be very far off. But if you listen to professional records, 9 out of 10 times you're not going to hear any little slips in the backing vocals or any of the main vocal for that matter. So there's a great plugin that I love using called vcal00 that gives it right out of the box to you guys, that helps you take your backing tracks that I'm going to have here in a moment and align them with my main track. So what I used to have to do is go flex mode, go in F, and I would have to flex it and literally zoom in on every point where she's singing and time it correctly to the backing track, because these are two different sung vocals. My backing track, majority of the time, I'm going to have my vocalist go in and re-sing the same words, just either at a higher pitch or maybe much more dry or kind of delivered a little bit differently, so that way I can use that as the wider part of my track. So with that being said, what you want to do is use your main vocal, and this is one of my original tracks I'm working on, so I'll play the vocal now, the main one that's on top that we are not aligning. We're going to be aligning the backing track to this one.
And you know I don't want nobody else, ain't nobody like you. All the good times and hard times you put each other through, it's so worth it. We're perfect and imperfect too. Yeah, we got love where we are.
Okay, so that's the vocal part. Now the timing that's needed, this is my backing track, so let me solo that. You can hear it sung slightly different.
And you know I don't want nobody else, ain't nobody like you.
So it's sung, it's very dry, obviously. It's going to be my backing, it's going to be the wider track. Now, if you guys listen carefully, when I partner that up with my main vocal, you'll definitely hear over here, there's a little slipping going on in her timing. I want it pretty much exact so that when I pan it and use it as my wider vocal, the timing's not going to slip. It's not going to sound messy, but listen for a couple spots that kind of slip off timing.
And you know I don't want nobody else, ain't nobody like you. All the good times and hard times you put each other through.
Exactly right there. Listen to that again in this spot.
And hard times you put each other through.
Each other is very late. So when we're using vcal00, let's really focus on that part, because that's going to be the most apparent. Also, when she's seeing time right here, you're hearing a slight reflection from the backing vocal, this top one.
Thank you, all the good times and hard times you put.
So you can hear times kind of coming in the slightest bit late. Too, if we even zoom in, you guys can start seeing right here specifically, see how these are slightly off. Now you guys can go into flex mode and you can get this done, especially Ableton users. You got your warp mode, you can go in and make points, or you can just do it quickly with vcal00 and it does it for you and aligns everything per this vocal. Let's get to that. Now the first thing you do is on my dub vocal, we're just going to solo it out right now. I put that on the bottom of my track. I'm not putting it on my main vocal, because what I do is feed the main vocal into the dub track through a sidechain. So let's just open up vcal00 here on the dub track. So we'll bring this open now. So now what we need to do is sidechain in my main guide vocal. So what it's going to do is capture the audio of our good vocal that we want the timing to be kind of aligned to. So what we do is select main guide vocal inside here in our sidechain. And I got a lot going on in this project, so let's just find it, main guide vocal. So now when I hit capture audio, it's going to play both. We're going to hear them both, but it's going to instantly take the need time stem and align it to my main guide vocal because I have that selected through the sidechain. So let's play that with capture audio on.
And you know I don't want nobody else, ain't nobody like you. All the good times and hard times you put each other through, it's so worth it. We're perfect and imperfect too. Yeah, we got love where we are.
Okay, so now what we have is a visual. Let's just zoom this out a little bit here so we can see everything. That's our entire vocal. The top one being this main vocal, the bottom one being the one that needs timing. So you guys can really zoom in on this if you want to look at it to really see what it's doing. Now there's a few things we can do here. When we hit align, it's going to instantly put the timing together with the main guide vocal. Now when you want to hear it played back out in Logic, this speaker right here, this icon has to be on green, so you'll be hitting edit in order to hear it on the outside through the Logic here. So you guys can see I can't hear anything. So if we hit edit align first, now it's aligning it to my guide vocal, and this is red. Now if I hit edit, I'm on green, so I can now hear the aligned vocal back here.
And you know I don't want nobody else, ain't nobody like you. All the good times and hard times we put each other through.
Okay, so this spot we said was a little off. Let's now listen to that paired up with the main vocal.
And you know I don't want nobody else, ain't nobody like you. All the good times and hard times we put each other through.
It's a tiny bit off still, so we can align it. A little more, hit edit.
We put each other through.
Align more, hit edit.
We put each other through. We put each other through.
That's a lot more tighter. If we watch the main difference when I bypass this off.
We put each other through. Put each other through. Put each other through.
Let's hear that back here. Listen to how late this is.
Good times and hard times we put each other through.
You can hear it on each other. Now listen to it.
Good times and hard times we put each other through. Good times and hard times we put each other through.
It's a huge difference in the tightness of the backing track to the main track.
Good times and hard times we put each other through.
And especially with the times too that I was talking about. Listen to that again, bypassed.
Good times and hard times we put each other through. It's so good.
And let's even hear the rest of the track here. Let's see how it sounds down here.
Good times and hard times we put each other through. It's so worth it. We're perfect and imperfect too.
So let's now put it on.
Good times and hard times we put each other through. It's so worth it. We're perfect and imperfect too. Yeah, we got love where we are.
So everything is really tight and precise now, all from just aligning it, using the analyze inside vocal line. A really quick and easy way to button everything up. You know, make sure before you guys get to this, your vocalist did their best performance on singing this, because if you need to align stuff that's in extremely off timing, things can get a little messy in here, especially if you go into flex mode inside Logic or Ableton, whatever you're using. If you're warping it, that can be a major headache, you know. So rule number one, make sure your vocalist really does their job to get everything or sing everything in a line, and then it'll make your job a little bit easier here. So the thing I can do now is I can bounce this in place if I want and use it as a new audio, a new wave that's aligned now. Now I have a aligned vocal down here, my new stem that I can use that's fixed. You know, everything's perfect, ready to go.
And you know I don't want nobody else, ain't nobody like you. All the good times and hard times we put each other through. It's so worth it, we're perfect.
So that each other, you still can hear a slight slip. So I would just keep going back into a line and just keep pushing that a little bit further to tighten that up. Maybe another 5 minutes I'd have that really sharp and clean. But another cool thing with vocals is you can have a unique flair if your vocals aren't all on time, meaning milliseconds off, a little bit of like a pre-delay, so to speak, because when you pan that left and right, your dub vocal, it can create an interesting chorus effect, which sometimes you want in your track. So don't get me wrong here. You don't always need your vocals 100% aligned up. That's kind of a taste thing, and if that's what you don't want and you want a little bit of a loose feeling to your backing tracks, then you go for it. It's not always needing to be aligned, but this is a great feature and a great plugin to quickly do that for you guys. So definitely try that out in your next track. If you're working on vocals, this will definitely benefit you guys and speed up your process rather than flexing and warping. So please let us know if you have any questions. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you guys next time.